Howdy, it's Joe from Amalgam, and today I'm going to walk you through a template that helps you do multi-entity consolidations, especially useful for those systems like QuickBooks Online that lack kind of an inherent multi-entity consolidation within them. Let me walk you through. Where we end up on this is that we've got an income statement and balance sheet that's sort of the summary of the consolidated entity. So I've got a report here ready to go. I can stamp this out and share it with my clients or my management team, what have you. This information is sourced from a consolidations tab. This consolidations tab has all the different account names and then pulls it up from each individual entity. You've got an elimination column if you need to eliminate accounts, and then you've got your net balance, which is then feeding the actual reporting for the income statement and balance sheet. Obviously, you can edit this as you'd like. If you want more reports or you want to see multiple columns and things like that, you'll have that. Down below, we've got some checks and things of that nature, which are super important. And that's how this sort of tab works. And I'll come back to this to just describe one more thing. But where does this data come from? These green cells are sourcing from other tabs, which are each of these individual tabs here are the different entities for the trial balance with using the Amalgam template. So this is entity 1. We've got our trial balance with the accounts, and we've got our debits and credits here. And we also have in column N a standardized mapping. So as you'd imagine, with each of these entities, you've got different naming conventions, but we want to consolidate that. Make sure all of the accounts receivable are flowing through properly. How do we do that? We're using a mapping table in the back, which is column N for each of these tabs. So if I go into my mapping, you can see here, trial balance 1, I've got this checking account. For 2, it's this checking account. For 3, it's this one. I can make sure that each one of those has proper cash on hand as the name. That name then is flowing through to each entity, and then it flows through for my consolidation. So that's how the data are pulling through, and you can make sure your checks are on to see that. And then within here, I have another quick mapping where each of these accounts is then mapped to the balance sheet or the income statement. For instance, I may not want to show so many lines in my fixed assets. So then that's what we have here, just one line for fixed assets. All of those amounts are bundling up there. So you can change this mapping as you want. I'm sure you can do whatever you feel comfortable with around that. But that's the beauty of these templates. You can kind of customize them the way you'd like. And then we also have some checks built in. So if I come to my front cover page here, I've got some inputs that's going to say when the date, range, and things to that nature. But I also have my entities, checks, and things to that nature. So if I go to my consolidation and let's say I just delete out this accumulated depreciation, I will get an error here on my checks. Additionally, every month, you might have instances where account names change or things to that nature. You get new accounts. If that's the case, let's say they change the name from preferred stocks to preferred stockings. That's going to be flagged here. It hits here. And then also my cover page will highlight it. It's telling me that this is the number of the accounts that need to be fixed. And here's the outage. So a very fluid way to keep your checks and everything in line. And then every month you can come in here, you can change your date range and then go and run your entities, and you can hit run all and it will run across all of the different entities that you have connected to this. So that's a brief overview here of our multi-entity consolidation. If you have any questions, you know where to find me, and thanks for using Amalgam.